Hello, Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. However you're catching us. If you're watching live, it's on Facebook or replay on Facebook. So it is March 23rd. It is March 23rd, Tuesday, March 23rd. And I want to announce the $100 gift card winner. I'm going to drop a comment up top here. If anybody still wants to, it's not too late to enter still. So not too late to enter. I'm just going to drop a link here. And, whoops, that's not the proper link. That's the title of the video. So yeah, so it's not too late to enter our $100 card winner giveaway. Good morning to everybody who's tuning in. If you don't know, we are doing a contest here on Facebook that I launched probably 3 weeks ago. And I told everybody around this time I would launch the announce the winner around the 21st. I was away. Jamie and I were away up in the Finger Lakes. I'm going to pin this content here. Let's see if I can pin this. And pin comment. So the first comment up there is how you can still enter. We're going to send an email out today announcing the $100 winner. So basically it was super simple. All you had to do was follow the link that I just posted there. Make a comment on our beer post. You don't even need to be a beer fan. You can simply say, I don't like beer. I like wine. I don't like beer or wine. I don't drink it all. I love a good beer on a hot day. I love IPAs. I drink stouts. I only drink beer on St. Patrick's Day. You can drop any kind of comment there to win. Then we'll have our chatbot take over and drop you a link of where to finish your registration. And then later today, we use this program that automatically picks a winner. So I don't have to put names into a hat and draw out like the old days, although that's fun doing that because we've done contests. So good morning, everybody who's tuning in. Good morning. Joel, hi, Lynn. Yolanta, good morning. Of course, Jamie's on. So it's not too late to enter to win. We're going to send out an email about noon today announcing the winner. If you can easily send that link to somebody else or tag them so they see it, so they have a chance to win too. It could be a family member, it could be whoever. Just tag somebody, whatever. We're going to be running a lot more contests on Facebook. The last two contests we did really good. So we're just going to keep giving stuff away. Some exciting things here happening as spring approaches, or spring is here. In Ellenville, we will be closing the streets off again. The streets will be closing again. The village tried to put it in for, I think, April 2nd. DOT, Department of Transportation, will close off the streets. I'm not sure when we're going to officially close them. But Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, the front streets will be closed here. Canal Street will be closed. Restaurants can put out tables, music out there, things like that. It's going to be a great time. So we did that last year, and I did lobster bakes out there. I shucked oysters. We'll be doing all of that again. All that cool stuff again will be happening out front. Our back patio is ready to rock and roll. We are expanding some seating back there, making it a little larger because the back garden was just such a success. So we're just moving some things around back there and rearranging to make it a bit larger. We'll probably fit in 2 or 3 more tables back there. We've never really used our back garden extensively like we did last year, and it was amazing for our business last year, and people were happy out there. And people ate out there last night. So we have heaters out there. We have all that kind of stuff. So some people ate out there last night. And what else is going on? We got a great beer dinner coming up the 5th of April. Jamie and I are pulling out some very rare beers, vintage barrel-aged beers, things like that. Our next dinner is the 29th of March. 4 wines and a dish, $25. It's a great deal. The theme is new arrivals, the new arrivals on our wine list. Jamie and I went to the Finger Lakes this last weekend, took a group of 14 people around, and toured some amazing wineries. And we were there the day early, touring some wineries too. So Jamie and I brought back, 6 more cases of wine. So we got a bunch of new arrivals. We have some new arrivals coming from Italy. We have some awesome, great new wines coming in from some vineyards that we personally know and have been to. So the wine dinner is going to be that theme, new arrivals, preview new wines that aren't even on our wine list yet. The beer dinner, then the following wine dinner, which I already have set up, April 12th, is the Movia wine dinner, the Slovenian wine dinner, which we have the importer coming for that. It's going to be amazing. Movia wines are just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant wines. Ale's focuses on natural winemaking. So I sent out an email last week about all the additives in wines. Literally like 79 different additives are approved in the US to add to wines. And if you go into the Finger Lakes, you'll find that a lot of these guys are natural, making natural wine, especially wineries like Herman Weimer, Dr. Frank, are really so strict. And they tell you right up front that we add nothing to it. There's no fining agents. There's nothing we add to it, no stabilizers. Because wine can go have a lot of different additives, including concentrated grape juice and colorings and flavor enhancers and things to help with fermentation, yeast boosters, things like that. That really can now make winemaking more of a science to adding these chemicals and these additives to it. And some additives are totally natural, but they're still additives, and they're making the winemakers sort of like cheating a little bit, So if I were to grow my own blueberries or strawberries, if I were to grow my own strawberries, and I was going to make a strawberry pie, but I felt the strawberries that I grew weren't that good, I could go out and buy strawberry color, strawberry concentrate, strawberry flavorings, strawberry whatever to make that strawberry pie taste better. Essentially, that's what winemakers do. They're not happy with the quality of the grapes. They're not happy with the quality of how the pie was, the wine was. They can alter all that, and the big brands do that extensively. So when you walk into a store and you buy Barefoot or Yellowtail, even some of the California ones, and even a few New York ones, they, especially the bigger ones that need to be more consistent year after year, they are relying upon additives to make that wine consistent. Then all of a sudden the next day you wake up and you have a headache and you say, I can't drink red wine, I can't drink white wine, I can't drink wine. It's not the wine you can't drink, it's all the additives that you can't handle. The extra sulfites, even the tannins, which are naturally occurring tannins, sulfites are natural too, but even the tannins, a lot of people are thrown off by the tannins in the wine. So let's see. So follow that link that I posted up there. If you did not enter to win yet, go in there and follow that link. Enter to win, and $100 gift card. We're going to send an email out later announcing the winner. We're not going to pick the winner. The email's getting ready. We're not going to pick the winner till about noon because I want everybody to have a chance at entering. Stay tuned for more contests. We are closed today and tomorrow. It's Tuesday. We're around though. Jamie and I are around. So if you want to get a grocery order, you can. Olive oil's on sale this week, so let me grab the olive oil that's on sale. So the Olive olive oil from South America, 100% organic, 100% estate grown. Every olive that goes into this bottle is grown on their own plantation, their own estate. They're not using any outside influence. It's all their own estate grown stuff. So organic, really, really cool stuff. It's on sale this week, $7 off a bottle. $7 off a bottle on this. Is a full liter. Really, really good olive oil. I've been using this olive oil for years. The next thing that's on sale are our Italian tomatoes. The light is not showing you there we go. Italian cherry tomatoes from Campania. These cherry tomatoes are peeled, popped into a can. You basically pop the top open, bring them to one simmer. That's all you need to do is one simmer. And from there, I just hit a button by mistake here. Okay. You bring them to one simmer. And if you put fresh mozzarella with it, especially the burrata, oh my gosh, what an amazing, amazing dish. Give them a little crush and put them with pasta, fresh pasta, put them on top of pizza. Really, really mind-blowing tomatoes. These are on sale this week too. These are a fantastic price. So they come from Campania, from southern Italy, from where San Marziano tomatoes come from that area of Italy. Let's see. I think that's about it that's going on right now. This week's 9.99 special is peel and eat shrimp. We have a lemon garlic peel and eat shrimp. You get 3/4 of a pound for $9.99. Nice large shrimp in there. So that's the story with our 9.99 this week. Next week's 9.99 we already have in the plans. Lately I've been planning ahead, so that's good. I've been planning ahead and just ahead. Been planning ahead, so it's really good. My office is clean, and like I've been, like most of you know, I've been back in my office for the last month and a half or so. It's nice to be back there and being organized instead of working from the bar here like I normally do. So that is it, folks. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Really, really appreciate the support, Jamie and I. We've had a lot of inquiries again for the Finger Lakes. So we might do another Finger Lakes trip in May. We're looking at another one. There's several wineries that we still could not get to, like Ravine Cellars, like Dr. Frank, Hunt Country. So there still are some wineries there that we would love to get to. Atwater. Atwater is an awesome little winery. Their quality, I feel, in the last 15 years has improved. They're doing some really cool stuff. New ownership in there a few years ago, and really focused, really driven. We haven't used their wines in quite some time, but they're back on our radar. We're back in there with the owner, and really some cool stuff. They make a pet nat. They're called pet nats, or these sparkling types of wines. I'll do a Facebook Live on that one time. Pet nats are not that popular, but they're coming back, and the people are doing them in the Finger Lakes. Standing Stone, which we'd love to get to, which I have a bottle here of Standing Stone. This is their Riesling, Standing Stone Riesling. Standing Stone is owned by Herman J. Weimer now, and they are doing amazing. Standing Stone was doing an amazing job before the two guys from Herman Weimer bought them, but they bought them, and of course holding the standards from Herman Weimer. Really, really awesome wines coming over there. One of the wines that we're going to be pouring by the glass now from the Finger Lakes is a very interesting grape varietal called Saperavi, Sapervi, Saperavi. Saperavi is a very ancient grape. It's from the country of Georgia, because all European countries make wine. But of course, France and Italy and Spain are the most famous, and Greece right behind them. For winemaking, but all those countries make wine. That's just what you did, right? So this grape Saperavi is originally from Georgia. It's being grown by a couple vineyards up in the Finger Lakes, and really some cool wine coming out of Saperavi. Very, very dark grape, dark flesh, high tannins, big bold grape, but they're blending it. They're doing some cool things. They're making rosé out of it. So one of our new wines we're pouring by the glass, the Miller's Cove from Keuka Spring, is a Saperavi blend. And I expect you don't. I don't expect you to remember Saperavi, but come in and ask us about that old grape varietal that's being grown in the Finger Lakes. I'm doing quite well in the Finger Lakes, by the way, too. Saperavi, along with a bunch of other grapes that people have brought in and started planting there. So, if you're tuning in live right now, just drop a comment, #live. It is 9:34 a.m. on Tuesday, and looks like it's going to be another amazing day up into the 60s. So everybody enjoy, get some sun, get some vitamin D. You know the deal, stay healthy. And somebody mentioned to me about us going into the Finger Lakes, and that it might not be safe for us to be doing it, and this and that. And these are people that actually come into the restaurant that are out and about. Folks, when we go to the Finger Lakes, and everybody will tell you, we're like in our own pod. Like we really don't go out at restaurants to eat. We eat food at the hotel in our hospitality suite. We bring back. We're on the same bus. We're in the same group of people all weekend. Most of the wineries give us a special place to taste in that we're not mixed in with in a big tasting room. So we're not randomly walking in. And besides, if you're out and about, if you're sitting in a restaurant and you sit down and take your mask off, those aerosols, they travel 30 feet. So just because there might be a 5-foot divider between or 6 feet in between, the whole room is still has everything in the air. These travel 30 feet. They land on our mask, then we touch our mask, and we take this home. So to think that you're not coming in contact with whatever's in the air is false. It's all in the air. But a lot of people feel comfortable when they sit down because we've been told to feel comfortable by the so-called experts in the media. You sit down, you're okay. You stand up, oh my gosh, like we got a 2-star review on Valentine's Day because the table next to them, well, they were loud too, but the table next to them also stood up without a mask on. They stood up without a mask on, and how dare the table next to me stand up without a mask on? Folks, you're already in that environment. You're already there. It's already happening. You need to be spraying your mask down with hydrogen peroxide, with colloidal silver, taking all these precautions. But when you're sitting down, you're still in the same environment, and the way the state regulations are, really, I can sit here at the bar like this. I can be seated and be okay. But as soon as I move the bar stool and stand up like this, that's it. Literally 6-inch difference. I'm in violation. I'm literally in violation but people think because you're in violation, you're being unsafe. So by me standing here or sitting here, I'm still the same. I'm still projecting the same. Everything's still the same. It's just 6 inches. But because it doesn't fit the governor's mandates on the state liquor authority's guidelines, people all of a sudden think and accuse you of being very unsafe and irresponsible and things like that. So if anything, if you're going on a group trip with us, you're getting exposed to less people because you're not walking into a tasting room randomly and standing in line and other people around you. We literally have our own spaces in a lot of these tastings. In Fulkerson, they put us upstairs in the loft. We were by ourselves. Herman Weimer, we were by ourselves. Cuckoo Springs, we were off in a separate room by ourselves. So it's actually probably safer to travel with the same people all weekend and be in contact with the same people versus going to 5 of your own wineries, coming into contact with a lot of different people, and going into a restaurant to eat at night and sitting down there where there's 50 other people in the restaurant. We were eating dinner in a hospitality suite with the same 14 people that were on the bus with the same 14 people that went to the winery with the same 14 people. So I know some people have been a little critical of us doing these, but really when it comes down to it, that's the story. That's what's happening. So just going to Walmart, you're actually going to have much more exposure. Sitting in a restaurant where you don't know anybody, if you've in a restaurant where you don't know anybody, and then go out for lunch at a place and go out for dinner at a place, you're being far more exposed than the 14 people that we go with all weekend long. So once you put it into perspective to people like that, they're like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. And again, we wouldn't do anything that isn't according to the mandates. Jabe and I, especially here in the restaurant, because we have a lot to lose. Having a liquor license. Having a liquor license is our bread and butter here. So in the past, we've never done, which we still don't do, bring your own bottle, BYOB. Because BYOB is something that's not legal in New York State. Even though a lot of restaurants do it, we don't even do that because we don't want to take a chance. So when you read the liquor authorities guidelines, or when you read what the inspector has, so the inspector has in their book. So you have the prosecuting attorneys. You have the inspector, you have how the law is written, and of course everybody can. It's just like code enforcement within a municipality. The code says, so for example, our daughter was having problems with chickens on my parents' property that she's buying, and there's not 3 acres. So the law reads, you have to have 3 acres to have 30 chickens. That's how the law reads. Well, depending upon the way the attorney reads or the judge reads, it's, well, if you don't have 3 acres, it's like it's the speed limit. The speed limit's 30. We know if you go over 30, you're going to get a fine. But what if you're going 15 or 10 miles an hour? There's no fine for that. So I've gone to court several times with this because the neighbors keep calling about the chickens. That's just cranky about the chickens. And Courtney has 12 chickens on there and almost an acre of land, which they're perfectly fine. But the law reads you have to have 3 acres to have 30 chickens. It doesn't say how many chickens you're allowed if you have 1 acre. So we've gotten to be able to prolong this and being awarded in our favor. But the town prosecuting attorney or the town attorney is like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. And the judge is like, well, it's just not strong. The law's not written strong enough for that, to do that. So it depends on who's looking at the law. So BYOB is one of those things depending upon who's looking at the law. If you call the liquor authority and speak to the person, the secretary who answers the phone, him or her is going to say, well, yeah, BYOB is okay. But if you talk to a prosecuting attorney, he's looking at the book that says if you're a restaurant and if you have a liquor license, you're only allowed to have on premise here things that were purchased from a licensed distributor, licensed winery, licensed brewery. You're only allowed to have things that were bought from a licensed source. The liquor store is not a licensed source. The liquor store is a retail and they have a similar license to me. So I cannot go to the liquor store and buy it. I cannot go to New Jersey and to Bottle King and buy it. Incidentally, one of the reasons why New Jersey's cheaper in alcohol, there's two reasons. We were having a conversation on the bus in the Finger Lakes this last weekend about some of these distributors and the cutthroat things that they do. In New York State, if there's Jack Daniels only available for one distributor. There's Absolute Vodka only available from one distributor. Cuervo Tequila, one distributor. This bottle of wine, one distributor. This bottle of wine, one distributor. In New Jersey, this bottle of wine can have two distributors. Jack Daniels can have two distributors. They can be co-listed. In New York State, you don't do that. You have strict territories. So in New York State, the distributor can dictate the price based upon really anything. So they can say, we're going to charge $35 for Jack. But in Jersey, the two distributors are going to be like, well, I want the business. No, I want the business. So instead of 35, they might be charging 30, 29, 27, 31, and they're going to compete against each other at a lower margin because they want the business. In New York, there's zero competition. Once you have that brand, there is zero competition. So that inflates the price. Then, of course, New Jersey's taxing on alcohol is different. Of course, we all knew that about their gas until a couple years ago. Their gas was a much better value than ours, and now it's not that much of a better value. But that's the reason, is taxes and because of competition. So you can literally go across the border. I can go across the border to Bottle King and buy anything on the shelf there cheaper than I can buy it from my New York distributor, which doesn't make sense. But that's why. So a lot of restaurants are tempted to do that, to go across the street, go across the borders. Even in going into like Vermont or something, they're tempted to go across the borders and buy. However, the liquor authority has figured that out, and they know that. And I've actually heard of cases where they'll monitor who's going to the parking lot. If it's a New York license plate, they'll scan the license plate. And if that license plate is tied to a restaurant owner, like I don't even want to pull into Bottle King. If your license plate is tied to a liquor license to a restaurant owner or to a bar owner in New York, they're going to send an inspector in and see. When the inspector comes in, they want to go through everything I have on the bar here, and then they want to see my stack of invoices. And they want to make sure that everything on my bar got purchased from a licensed New York distributor, licensed New York vendor, licensed New York, whether it's a wine or then I have a proper trace of records for it. And if I don't, I'm in a lot of trouble. So, BYOB, going back to BYOB, if you were to travel to France or California or Pennsylvania or Virginia and buy a bottle of wine that didn't pay New York taxes and bring it into New York State and walk into my restaurant at 7 o'clock one night and say, I'm here to celebrate my wedding anniversary I bought, or birthday, or I got this bottle of wine I need to drink at home, got it on a spec, got it. And if I bring that into my possession and then charge you and open it, I'm in violation, because on premise, I have a bottle of booze that did not pay taxes in New York State, and it did not come through my licensed distributor. And I'm in violation. So we've never even taken a chance as far as that. We don't like to take chances on any of this kind of stuff. It's not worth it. When we first opened, we didn't have a full liquor license. We had a wine and beer license because we're within 200 feet of a church. When you're within 200 feet of a church in New York or a school, they don't let you have a full liquor license. Wine and beer is permissible. So we opened up with a wine and beer license. We actually opened up with a full liquor license. And then somebody complained and called the liquor authority, and literally the orders at the back door for all of our booze, our wine, and our liquor. The orders at the back door, and we get a call from our liquor expediter, person who did it, our legal counsel, and he goes, "You've got a problem. Somebody complained. You're within 200 feet, and they're pulling your license. They're going to have to reissue you a different class of license, which is going to be a wine and beer." I'm like, "You're kidding me." He's like, "Nope, somebody complained. You're too close to a church." So, long story short, one of the local, Kevin Cahill, local representative, he called the liquor authority and said, what can what can be done? What can be done for Aromatime, 165 Canal Street, Novel? What can be done for them? The liquor authority said, Kevin, nothing can be done for them. They're within 200 feet. That's the law, unless you change the law. That's how they can get their own liquor license. It's called site-specific legislation, and many restaurants have done this. So you have to get your state representative to sponsor a bill and pass it through the House and through the Senate, right? It needs to go through both. And at the time, Cahill and Bonasek both sponsored, so it went through the House simultaneously. We double teamed the New York State Congress, and we were able to get site specific, which means there's a new law XY, whatever the number is, and we have a picture of it. It's on that floor, being voted on, and this law will allow 165 Canal Street to obtain a liquor license without going through the 200 feet door-to-door requirement. And several restaurants have had this luxury of having this happen. I heard they don't do it that much anymore. We were the third at the time. The Mayflower in New York, the hotel, had it done for them, and a place upstate in Syracuse had it done, and we were number 3 to actually ever have this done in the state of New York. And so when the liquor authority said, Kevin, there's nothing you can do unless you change the law, Kevin goes, well, I guess I'll change the law for Aromatime. I feel that a good representative looking at a situation like this objectively, ours or anybody else's, can say, hey, for the economic spur of this region, you need a good restaurant. You need a good whatever. And sure, these laws are archaic at 200 feet. So let's go in and see what we can do and help this business out. Maybe we do need to change an archaic law. Even though we can't change it across the state, maybe we can change it for this place specifically, and do site-specific legislation. So that legislation actually carries on from this, I believe, this address. And it might even carry on to the next owner. I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is that we were able to overcome that and get a full liquor license. We were able to overcome that and get a full liquor license. So we really value our liquor license. We really, really value our liquor license. And this is why if you walked in with your own bottle to have BYOB and have us, I simply say, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to do that according to the state regulations. And people will say, well, other restaurants do it. I don't care what other restaurants do. I'm protecting our interest and our livelihood by keeping our liquor license. So by doing these trips to the Finger Lakes and doing these other things, we don't want to jeopardize what we have, and we don't jeopardize what we have. So we really stay true to the mandates and the guidelines, whether we agree with them or not. And sometimes it's hard to be 100% because there's, they're always changing or whatever. It's difficult or this or that. But as a general rule, we try to stay 100% with those, and we want to definitely honor our liquor license. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate the support. Can't thank you enough. And see you soon. Just go on top of that, the link on top, gift card giveaway. You don't even need to like beer. Just tell us, I'm not a beer drinker. I'm a wine drinker. I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not a wine drinker. I don't drink alcohol. Whatever it is, drop a comment and you'll be entered to win. There'll be a follow-up message that comes right through automatically, just to confirm your email. And we're going to send out the email. We're going to send out the winner via email today. So today's the day. So good luck, everybody, and thanks for entering.